Okay.
Her new mantra. I'm not important.
So who cares? I love it. I just found Celine Dion's a song, Dance Like No One's Watching. Oh, that song is so good. She's like, I'm up to here with it. And I'm like, oh, I feel that. I get it. Dance like nobody's watching. It's like, oh yeah, that's it right there. We'll dance to it as Seashell. Anyway, welcome to prayer experiment number 4. And today we're going to pray. We're going to practice praying for each other. We did a little bit of this in the summer. It was kind of nice. So let's see how it works out today. But just to summarize, I hope you guys did go through the Divine Truth 2009 material on Introduction to Prayer a little bit. Okay. And so what do we know? What is prayer? What do we know so far about prayers from everything we've done so far in a few weeks and the material and your experiences and whatever our guides are trying to tell us right now? Jill?
Prayer is emotion. Like it's
Yeah.
right. It's all based in emotion. So it has
Perfect.
to be a true emotion from you in order for the prayer to be heard.
Exactly. And it could be what we consider to be not pleasant emotion, but as Jesus put in a talk, it's truthful, it's honest. It's got to be honest emotion. Then it's a prayer. Casey?
Communication from our soul directly to God.
Yeah, isn't that incredible? That's a direct line right there. Michaela?
Can I just ask a question about so if I'm in my emotion, processing my emotion where I want to murder someone,
Not in harmony with God.
Am I praying in that expression?
Hopefully, God's going to ignore that one because it's not in harmony with God. So that's the good thing with God. God will either listen or ignore. So there's no penalty. And also you were in that moment processing and releasing an emotion, which was in itself a result of a prayer. You must have prayed to release a cause.
Okay.
So you are releasing it. So that's a prayer or the outcome of a prayer.
Cool.
But yeah, no, I don't want us to start to freak out now, because the thing about directing something to God is if it's not in harmony with God, God would ignore. Can't go wrong. What can possibly happen to you here?
Yeah, well, so one of my take-home points of the prayer group is that if we feel for someone else's suffering, we are praying for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing right there. Yeah. Okay, what else do we know about prayer? Or what else do we wonder about it? Michaela?
One thing I'm starting to learn is that it works. And
yeah. Oh, do you have examples?
Whoa.
Because we got to build faith.
Do I have an example? I don't think I can think of a specific example, but I mean, just observing all you guys and the prayers that we've done, seeing the changes in all of us. And to me, that's a sign that it works. I'm sure I do have examples. If I think of them, I'll come back.
Because we got a bit of faith. We can actually pray about that. We can actually ask, can you show me, God, can you show me examples of when my prayers were answered? And then you start to see it and you'll see, it'll build your faith. Yeah, that's really awesome. And also from what we learned from the talk, God answers prayers that is addressing the cause, not the outcome. So if you're praying to ask to release the cause, or to understand the cause, or to know the cause about whatever the situation is that's stressing you, supposedly you get answered fast. So, yeah. Okay, so what I would like to do today is I would like for each of us to think of a situation that you would like to see change, that you like help with. Could be something small, something you're comfortable sharing publicly. And then the rest of us will resonate with the prayer, try to find an emotion that gets stirred in you when you hear about the situation. And then you pray to God about what you wish to see happen for them, because your emotions got stirred. That's the key. But I really like what Selena did one time in the summer. One time she prayed that somebody's situation didn't stir her, didn't affect her, and she prayed about that. And that had quite an impact. So that's also another beautiful thing to do about it. It was really good. So who wants to go first? Who has a situation they want to start with? Selena.
Well, I might as well just go with this terror that I have that I'm working on of being in a group in
Okay.
a close situation, right? Like a non-family, even though that you've
Us.
yeah, it's you
Us.
guys, the people I
She's
would love
talking
to
about-
spend time with more than anybody else, but it's based on a childhood. I know it is, because I've come close enough to that to feel like, being in a classroom, being in environments of feeling projections of people and being overwhelmed by that environment. Yeah.
Okay.
Not feeling
So
safe.
not feeling safe. Okay. So
Yeah.
not feeling safe.
And projected expectations, how come you're not more fun? Hey, what's the matter? You're so quiet. That kind of shit,
Yeah, like I did that to you last week, didn't I?
What? Did you?
I said, you're so
Oh, yeah,
quiet.
a little bit. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I still feel like shit, I'm not feeling very good.
Okay.
My cold, so I'm not feeling like, very good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what you're asking for help with is,
And I also think it's possible that I got this cold because of this feeling,
yeah,
because it happened right after,
course.
because I was kind of going, that was weird, because I went through some processes, but I think the reason I felt it so strongly because of the processes I'd just been through, and then I got this cold. Like, this is kind of a big one. This is
Yeah.
a big fear that I have.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the fear is that I'll be in this group of people who are we're all very emotionally aware. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it means we're also emotionally very
And it wouldn't
intuitively
even
aware.
a matter if I was in that kind, because I've had those same feelings, say, with going on a weekend professional development at school with
Yeah.
the schools. Like, I wouldn't go. And I always had an
Wow.
excuse not to go, and they wouldn't make me, even though I kind of supposed to, but because I sort of was
Yeah.
a unique employee that didn't really interact with other teachers or anything like that, it didn't make me, but
Okay.
it was the same feeling. So it's really got
Okay.
nothing to do with the people or the,
Yeah. Okay.
and it's got nothing to do, because I travel by myself, I do all kinds of stuff. So it's just like, if I was just going with you, Dharm, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like I need to manage and control and
Yeah.
be able to serve everybody's projections at me. And if I can't, then I just withdraw. I get just,
Oh, wow.
and then I'm depressed.
Okay.
Does that sort of sound like I'm just getting there
Okay.
today? So it's
That's
really
beautiful.
new.
This
It's
is
really
beautiful.
new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we listen to this, all of us are getting stirred up in some different ways about Selena's fears of being in a group of people. So you can then have some kind of a prayer developed out of that you're asking God's help for. You can, yes, Jill?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you with that. I just have a question, if I can. Can I ask
Yeah.
a question?
I'm not important, so interrupt away. So I'm totally rebelling
Could
right
have
now.
kept
I'm
talking.
gonna tantrum.
You could have kept talking. Sorry. Selena, there is a feeling that's being stirred up in me, and I just want to sort of clarify if it's just me or if it's something that I'm resonating with. When you were a kid, when your parents had people over, were you like expected, or was it part of sort of your duties or demanded to be a part of it in a way that like you maybe had to not necessarily entertain, but to serve or to interact with the adults that are there?
Hmm.
Maybe I didn't explain it.
No, I don't know. We kind of had the Mennonite standard of the adults do one thing and the kids are expected to go do something else on their own
Okay.
and not by the
Okay.
adults. So
Did you want to be a
and
part
and,
of the
and
adults?
all of our interactions like that were those types when I was growing up, like they were all family interactions pretty much.
Okay.
So Jill, what do you feel like you want to ask God's help for Selena when she's there, when you are there?
Well, the expectation that I'm supposed to be an adult as well.
Okay, so perfect.
Okay.
So what is it you're asking God to do for Selena?
Well, I haven't figured that one out yet. I was still trying to
Okay,
get the rambles.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
and I don't understand it completely myself, and that's part of why I want this to be a prayer, is to get to that next kind of understanding that
Yeah.
place. But with it, yeah.
Okay, so help Selena. So we could pray for God's help to help Selena understand the cause of this fear.
Yeah, because part of me is so excited about doing this, and part of me just wants to not go so bad.
Yeah.
Like I just
Yeah.
so bad don't want to go.
Oh,
And I thought, well,
Yeah.
I got to get to the bottom of that one. Yeah.
that's beautiful. Okay, what gets stirred for others when you hear that? Or what is it you feel you want to ask for Selena? If anybody else want to share, you can. But always address the cause, or you can pray for her to have courage, or you can pray for her to feel. Yeah, Michael.
I feel like Selena wants to know the truth, and I would pray
Yeah.
that she'd be really hungry and receptive and welcoming to it, just to add to her
Perfect.
desire for truth.
Perfect. That's
Support
beautiful
them.
right there. See, but your wording, it's what resonates with you. So that's important. Like make it yours. When you hear a situation, make it resonate for you, make it become your desire of what is it you want God to do for Selena. So that's kind of that your nature has to get engaged, your passion, your excitement, your anger, something has to get engaged, and then it becomes personalized. Somehow, I don't know why, but that seems to be a key element in the prayer. And then your emotions are stirred, and then, according to what we know from the stories in the talk, God responds very quickly. Things can happen very quickly. So why don't we all step aside and do our prayer, and Selena's just going to relax and receive, or whatever experience you have is fine. If you want to make some notes, that's fine. And then you can send her the notes after, tonight or tomorrow, from whatever you experienced during the prayer. But we won't talk about that when we come back. I want to stay focused on Selena's experience about being prayed to. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. What was that like for you, Selena?
Oh, it's really emotional and really, like, first just gratitude over having such a messy, being able to share something so messy with people.
Wow.
Sort of confusing and messy, and I got a vision of this, like this dark red kind of black ugly core of ickiness with all this radiating stuff, like that's all my injuries coming from this pulsing center.
Okay.
That my friends are jumping into this black place I have. This really, yeah, it's like something from a science fiction movie, special
Wow.
effects sort of thing, with all this injury and pain radiating. Like there's this particular feeling is like a part of my whole thing, kind of all the
Wow.
emotional neglect that I received as a child, how I'm feeling about this. Like it's all kind of, and that was the things I had processed before this came up. Was
Okay.
that stuff, and it seems to getting into it even deeper, darker. I don't know how to describe it other than
Yeah,
that.
no,
You
that's
should-
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
good. So some emotions got stirred though during the prayer.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Good.
Like and not feeling alone in that. It was
Wow.
very different for me.
Wow. Awesome. Huh. I wonder if God, in response to prayers, sent some angel help there, sent some guides.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because whatever happened to Selena came from God. Because our request went to God, and whatever happened is now, out of our hands. That's really awesome. Thank you. Okay, so who's next? Michaela.
I am having a real struggle at the moment, recognizing how needy I am and how much I want my partner to validate my whole life. And I know that there's a place in my future where I am full and I don't need anyone else to give me a sense of self. And I really want help getting to that place.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how does that stir everybody else? What did that do for you? Casey, what stood up for you about that?
That there's a lot that I can resonate with that I very much have been noticing that as well with myself and my partner. So yeah, I'm feeling your shame, my shame,
Oh,
embarrassment. Yeah.
okay. So what do you think you would probably ask for God for Michaela? What do you wish would happen for Michaela?
So I don't know if this is gonna totally resonate, but what I'm feeling right now is what I would ask is for God to please help find the cause of the anger.
Beautiful. Perfect. Okay, thank you. And Jill, what resonates for you? What does it stir up for you? Sorry.
It stirred up a longing that I want to get to that place too. That and to be able to get to that place where I believe then I am no longer doing harm to my partner.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and there's an element of sadness there, like an element of I don't know if it's full on grief. It just feels kind of heavy and sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would ask God, I want to say that to ask God to help Michaela feel that she's enough. I don't know if
that's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful right there. Yeah, go with it. And then once you start, once the strings start moving, then more and more and more will start to keep coming out of you. What you wish for her. Yeah. Thank you. For me, what hit me was, ooh, she's judging herself for something that, what she needs. There's probably nothing wrong with what she's needing. She just needs to get it from God. But that she's judging, then it was like, ow. So I'm probably going to talk to God about that. I wish she didn't. That she could see that her needs were appropriate and can be met. To not judge yourself for it, to have compassion. Yeah, something like that. That's what stood out for me. So you see how different things can get stood out for everyone. Michael, do you have a sense of, what is it?
And the discussion stirs things up as well.
Sweet.
So I'm feeling, I notice your bravery, Michaela, and you're asking for some really raw feelings. And I felt like it's not your fault. I think it's something that we inherit and we think is normal, and not to blame yourself. And then I reflected on my relationship with Rosemary, and we're in the big building stages, and I'm not even thinking of how I might be hurting her or looking for legitimization. And I thought, well, I've got to ask God how I'm doing that. And so that would be what I would reflect back to you, is that you ask God for how you are, and not blame yourself too much.
For what you discover. Yeah. Because we got what we got, and we got to start where we start. Right. Okay. Nice. Those are beautiful. Selena, do you have something that's coming up?
I was a little distracted, so
No, it's all right.
Yeah.
No pressure.
I think all it brings to mind is like you say, this judgment of that feeling, that needy feeling, and just to keep looking at your attractions and not judging the attractions either, or like, because sometimes you can go down a road that's just so what not you thought was part of that feeling, and to just keep staying open to that. That's what I pray for, to see that, to not try to find reasons, the intellectual reasons. That's what I pray for. Just the real reason that might be totally way out there. You'd never thought of it unless you just keep looking at your attractions and going, and then eventually you'll look at it and go, whoa, I don't have that feeling as much as I did, after processing that, even though I thought that was not even would have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Michaela, let's see. We'll be back in 5. Ooh. All right, Michaela, what was that like for you?
Yeah, that was definitely an experience. I definitely felt the support of my friends, you guys. And I basically had a shopping list with God about my needs. It was really good, actually.
Okay.
And I was a little girl. I could really feel that there was this real expectation that God was going to meet these needs, and it was good.
Wow. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I just want to point out, even though I'm asking for your experience during the 5 minutes, but that once these prayers are said, things are going to keep happening and happening and happening.
Yeah, I look to just giving space to understand more about my needs with God.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really helpful.
Absolutely. I believe that because we have issues of worth, that we don't feel comfortable asking for some things that when somebody else, because they care about us, we will be willing to ask for somebody else something that they won't ask for themselves. I believe is one way that prayer can work, because there are things that you won't even think of asking for, but somebody else will say, "What the hell? I've had enough of this," and somebody do something, and we all got to be bully bags from the talk, from the Divine Truth talk. Okay, who's next? You can pick something small. You don't have to be so raw, but if you do, you'll benefit. Jill?
I've been trying to decide. I've got two sort of issues kind of going on. I think I'll go with my relationship with my parents is breaking down, and bit by bit. And I'm even having a problem like calling them my parents. I either call them my earth parents or I call them Debbie and Barry. And I got to a point the other day where I recognized that I am punishing them. So so I've stopped that. But I don't know, I feel a lot of guilt.
Ah,
I don't know how to sever a relationship when first of all, they don't want to help themselves. They've made it very clear to me, which there's anger there. And they are demanding that I help them, but I can't help them if they don't want to help themselves. So, but guilt of walking away from an 88-year-old person, or my dad's 88, my mom's 83. She will be 83. So how do I do that? Because it's getting to the point where it's like it's painful to be around them, to talk to them. I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, I just don't know what to do.
that's a perfect prayer. Yeah, why don't we work on that? So what resonates for other people around that for Jill? What would you like to pray for her? Michaela?
I pray that for the support to honor yourself in that dynamic and not to prioritize your parents and also your fear of their response to you, and to just honor your feelings about it all.
Ooh, nice. That's beautiful. Thank you. Michael?
For clarity, Jill, I was trying to build an understanding as you were describing it, and
Mhm.
I would begin to understand, and then you would say something and I would realize I didn't understand. So maybe you're having a hard time defining what the problem is.
Sure.
Clarity, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Okay.
It's okay. Casey, what would you like?
It's a big one.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I felt is, God, please help Jill release the demand on herself of being a good daughter.
Nice.
And then the second part, and I was still trying to figure out the wording about this, but maybe people can help. Wanting to help Jill receive truth about um, like her value as a human being is not dependent upon taking care of other people.
That's beautiful. Oh, wow. This is fantastic. Wow. Solid. Okay, we got some really good desires here. Thank you. That is such a huge support for her. Yeah. Michael?
I feel a lot of sympathy for you, Jill. It's an impossible situation with lots of sacrifices and lots of triggers, and
Yeah, you're doing that yourself
so
right now.
I feel that myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I need clarity.
Yeah. That's right. Thank you.
And we can't help people. You know, I wish my folks believed the way I do, but they don't, so I can't make them, and I just have to love them. And it's hard to, because it keeps showing us what my expectations and projections are.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Selena, do you have some ideas?
I just keep over and over my head. It's like, what did they want from you? Like to feel through what did they want? And then like, do they want your love? Do they just want you to care for them physically? What did they want? You know, like really being solid in that and what you're willing to do, or not willing, but where you're able to be with what they want and still be able to feel love and compassion.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's
Yeah.
the sweet spot right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
they're
a
old.
beautiful
Like I can
prayer.
really see the struggle in
Yeah.
there, you know?
Yeah, that's a sweet
Yeah.
spot right there. What can I do for her, for them, while I can still be able to feel love and compassion for them? Where
Yeah,
is
and
that
I think the
place?
point is to get to really to the place of the injury around what they are demanding from you. That's so
Yeah,
painful and healing that.
and feeling, releasing that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and that will
what a
allow room for the
solid.
empathy and compassion. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love it. All our prayers are punches. It's like, so good.
I have to do this with my clients, and they're not my parents,
Yes.
and I still have to do it because sometimes they're
Yeah.
pissers, you know, and I have
Yeah.
to, you know,
Yep.
I do.
My wish right now, what come up with at surface level is to help Jill find peace with what she needs to do and how things are going to be, and to help Jill love them like God loves them, so that God can teach Jill how to love them like God is. That's what's calling out for me about the situation. So, all right, 5 minutes. Jill, receive. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, what came up for you, Jill? Or how did it feel?
Well, I felt at start, I felt very resistant. Like all this stuff was like coming at me, and I'm like, wait, no.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
Good stuff. And then I was like, wait a minute, no, this is good stuff. So yeah, so I I got to see how, not only how tied I am to them, how tied they are to me.
Okay.
Like the image that I got was, if we were all, I don't know if I'm going to explain this right, but we're all like statues, but we're all one. We're all
Oh,
linked to
okay.
together, the three of us. And I'm, I guess in the right terminology, I'm bound to them.
Right.
But then I got the image of you were all there helping me find the opening to that. And it was like this giant zipper. And then I fell out of it. And was like shown from that perspective how bound
Wow.
how they're keeping me bound to them, and how I am bound to them as far as that I don't believe that I exist without them. That's my
Wow.
binding to them. And then their binding to me is that on an insidious level, it was like because they bought me, because I'm adopted, right? So they bought me, they feel like they own me like a piece of property. But without me, everything, like I saw, like I was like, everything crumbles for them. Like it's literally like these statues just literally crumble like cliff sides. And it's like if you've ever seen like a cliff degrading and a tree, the roots are
Yeah.
like hanging on like claws. That's how they're hanging on to me to try and keep them from disintegrating completely. I don't know anywhere past that. This is what I got.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And the prayers will keep going and keep helping you to keep dismantling all of that. So it's really good. Yeah. This is we've gone to another level than compared to what we did in August. We were just playing back then, but I feel like today, boy, we carry a punch. I mean, in our prayers to God, because remember, the prayer is to God and it is God who's doing whatever is happening. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, who's next? Michael or Casey? Michael, go ahead.
Thank you. I've used this time to think about how to describe it.
Okay.
I think simply I'm not willing to be fully honest, either with myself, with God. I feel like I'm hiding, not like I'm hiding something, but I'm just hiding who I am and not being willing to change, not being willing to get messy, not to be vulnerable like you guys are modeling. Preferring to be comfortable than to be real, I guess. And so, and it goes on. It's like along that line.
So what stirs up for others when you hear that? Michaela?
I just got a sense of the desire to stay in control, and so my prayer was about feeling safe to open to others and to God, and feeling safe to start to expose yourself and to become more intimate with God.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Others? Selena?
I got the sort of passive aggressive. Like, I'm a sweet little boy, but man, I'm digging my heels in. Like that's all.
You are
This
getting.
little boy. It's just like, yeah, I'm real cute and sweet, but no, you're not budging me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
What would you like to pray for?
Pray. Oh, just to soften, to soften to vulnerability. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you. Casey?
I felt a familiarity in this one too.
Okay.
In that, it was a little while ago, we were talking about, Darm, you and I were talking about how it feels scary to kind of like break out of that or move through that hiding, because who the hell is on the other side?
Yeah.
We don't know who that is. And I
Ah,
feel like there's a lot of fear there.
yeah.
So familiar with who you've created,
Yes.
probably out of necessity and safety, that you're so terrified. So my prayer is about helping to release the fear and finding the
Nice.
cause of the fear.
Okay. Thank you. Jill?
I felt an element of punishment in there as well. That it's like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to feel, so I'm gonna force myself to publicly say, oh, I don't feel anything, like that kind of punishment.
There's some judgment about himself. Right.
That
Right.
judgment, that
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So my prayer would be to be gentle with yourself.
Nice.
It's okay if you don't want to feel, and to, you know, to not judge yourself, to love yourself more and see
Nice.
how God loves you, and have, even if it's just, you know, that little grain of sand, if you could even feel how God loves you and sees you, then to have that just morsel of vulnerability there, is, yeah.
Good. Thank you. What calls to me is that the pleasure when you start being emotionally honest with God is delightful. There's a certain sensation, a certain aliveness you feel when you start being honest with God, and the freedom of like, I'm allowed to say that and nothing bad happens to me for saying that. In fact, things actually start to move and feel. And so my prayer is I wish for Michael to know that that's gonna be awesome. When you start doing that, it's only good. That's my prayer. It's for God to help you feel and to share my enthusiasm about why I like it. To just kind of share it, pop a little bit in your soul or something. Yeah. Okay. So 5 minutes.
That sounds like a prayer.
Right, Michael?
That sounds like a prayer, Mila.
Oh, I was just sharing with the group. I loved that prayer. I was just beaming, still beaming. I'm like zinged with this prayer. Love it so much. Anyway, Michael, what was it like for you to receive?
For me, it was a sweet feeling. I felt my issue is I'm a beginner and I don't want to appear like a beginner. And really, God wants me to feel her love and to know that I'm loved and that I'm good, and because I have defenses. And I tend to learn something and then I let myself be pulled away from what I learned, and where I need to plant my heels, Selena, is on the progress I've made and then just keep going from there. So I really feel like God wants me to know I'm loved, and just trust that and not worry about the things that I worry and fear.
Wow. That's a beautiful, okay. That's beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Casey.
So I had this feeling before the call started. I was like, no. And I've been resisting the whole entire time. Trying to think of another prayer. Let everybody else go first. Trying to think of something else they can pray for. But so
Well, pick something else. It's okay. Or challenge yourself.
I'm gonna do this one because I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I haven't been wanting to do it myself in conversations with God or my guides because it's very painful. And it's that I'm starting to get very curious about how my guides and God sees me. Particularly lately because I've been judging myself and I've been comparing myself to others a lot. And I'm becoming more and more hypersensitive to how much I actually do that. Yeah.
How much you judge.
How much I judge myself and how much I compare myself to somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what is stirred up for everybody else when you hear that? What calls to you? Michaela? Oh, Michaela and then Jill.
How does God see me? That is my prayer.
Thank you. And Jill?
Similar prayer, because it totally resonated with me as well. That
Okay.
realize that I'm kind of in the same spot, but maybe different wording of,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Okay. Are this Selena, Michael similar, or Michael?
I was still feeling my my 5 minutes.
The glow. Okay, no problem. All right. Selena, any comments?
Yeah, I'm with Michaela and Jill and
Perfect. Straightforward.
yeah, and that whole comparing yourself with others, like
Yeah.
I get that burden of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. I think my prayer would be to help Casey break away from that painful addiction.
Yeah,
Like, ouch, get that away.
yeah, because it just can just be so present, ever present, every minute, every.
Yep.
It's so easy to just stay in that place all the time.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll be back in 5. So, Casey, what was that like for you?
I think like Jill said earlier, it is very weird and very nice and very weird that all this stuff comes flying at you.
Wow.
My chest feels heavy, I guess is the best way that I can describe it. Like my lungs feel heavy, and I think part of that is stirring up emotions.
Okay.
And part of that is a different sensation that I've not felt. And I just kept seeing myself as a little baby walking, and I'd fall down and I'd get up and I'd walk again. Super simple. And just like
Wow.
laugh about it and keep walking.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. My turn. I know we're all kind of running out of juice, eh? You can see now. You're like, okay, 5 minutes all we've got because we kind of either run out of juice or get saturated, get just kind of contentment feeling. But my prayer is about play. I wish to embrace play. I wish to feel about play from God's perspective. What's God's definition of play? What are the benefits? What are the healing roles? What are my blocks to play? I just keep feeling like play is key for me in my current development right now. But I'm very blocked to it. Very, very blocked to it. I get hammered and attacked, and like it's just, if I want to know if there's spirits around me, just do something playful, and boy, you're like, oh yeah, there are 100 of you around me right now. It comes on pretty quick. So what gets stirred for everyone around that? Casey?
I just had this overwhelming feeling of I really wish you could feel what it feels like to be around you when you're being playful and being fun.
Like today?
Like you're just when you get into that space, you're just so playful and vibrant and bubbly. And
Wow.
oh shoot, I might have frozen. You're so
That's good.
vibrant and playful and bubbly, and I just really you could feel that.
Wow.
So that's my prayer for you.
Ooh, wow, thank you. Okay. Others? What comes up for you around that? Michaela and then Michael.
I just wrote down let Nilla play. So
Yes.
yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Michael?
I feel like you do have a great capacity to play and you are playful. And what you're
Okay.
doing is you're stretching against your what you're used to and your boundaries and your concepts.
Yeah.
You're kind of like breaking your own container
Okay.
to burst and play even greater.
So what is it you wish for God to do for me?
Help you play in bigger and bigger ways.
Okay. Thank you.
Grow comfortable with that.
Thank you. All right. Jill or Selena, if you want to share. Selena?
Yeah, this one's kind of tough one for me because I have big injuries around play as well.
Yeah.
And And I think for both of us, I would pray for God to help us understand it.
Yeah,
What the wellspring that play, the feeling of play comes from.
exactly.
I just would look at other children and go like, wow, like they just bubbles out of them. How do they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why did God create it? What is the
Yeah.
intelligence behind it?
Like
Yeah.
this irresistible desire, this irresistible, they just can do it, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
So that's the prayer, to understand it, what it feels like, where it comes
Thank you.
from, that the feeling it comes from.
Jill?
I think my prayer would be for God to help you give yourself permission to play,
Oh,
because you
nice.
play all the time.
Right.
We see it. So
Okay.
right. So
Okay.
it'd be nice for you to see it.
Yeah. That's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
And then
right.
I saw the next workshop is going to be done in the pottery classroom when we can all play with mud.
How incredible
Go
is
get
that?
dirty.
Oh my God, that's the ultimate. Oh, my hands are tingling. Okay. All right. Thank you. So 5 minutes. All right. I started receiving a lot of information about play. My dad's behind this prayer. He's behind this healing. My dad, being autistic, didn't get to be a dad, so he's feeling a lot of desire to, I guess, catch up. What I got strongly was that play is an act of gratitude. Play is saying thank you to God for life. It's a way, it opens me up to seeing God's goodness. It opens me up to receiving God's blessings. It opens me up to feelings of worth. Or maybe I forget that I have no worth while I'm playing. So a lot of I feel giddy, I feel joyous, I feel that play is a real source of strength for me, that lightness as well. And I like how light I feel in it. So I have a little bit of doubt going, how am I going to process emotion if I'm feeling happy all the time? Just a little bit of a doubt. I'm sure it'll be addressed. But that's one of my blocks. You're supposed to be serious, you're supposed to be real, and you're supposed to be dealing with hard stuff. And maybe I've done enough, a big chunk of it, that I need to now balance it with play. I think Selena was talking about Sonia's and Amantu's conversation in channeling. You may want to go back and listen to that. Was that you, Selena, was talking about it in last week's group? Oh, Michaela was, okay, Michaela was the one, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, maybe I do need to go back and listen to that channeling about how difficult it was for Sonia to just play, basically. She was in third sphere, things are good, and but yeah, she's blocked. Okay, thank you. So one thing I've learned about prayer is that when you pray for something for others, you also end up getting it for yourself. So I'll be curious to see how that plays out for everyone. If you took some notes, you want to share it with the person, then go for it. Send us an email. There are 6 of us here, so if you have some insights about how prayers have changed us in the next couple of weeks, feel free to share as well. And otherwise, we have one more prayer group left in 2 weeks. Okay.